Good day po to everyone. My name is Samantha Fabellon, and the title of my study is Can You Share Your Screen? Looking at students' new literacies of online research and comprehension and redefining teachers' assessment. It has been observed that new social practices, new ways of communicating, new ways of disseminating information, and new ways of teaching and learning strategies are being established. And we also know that we are at an advantage since technology, especially the internet, has already been existing since the 1950s. Technology has greatly affected not only the development and globalization of our country, but also the transformation of literacy. Because of these factors, the nature of literacy has also transformed. From the ability to read and write simple sentences, it is now the ability not only to read and write, but also our ability to use digital technology. This is where the construct of new literacies came from. It does not mean new as in newly discovered because it has been established since the 1990s by Buckingham as well as Gallego and Hollingsworth. In this study, new literacies are the strategies, skills, and dispositions required to utilize the internet and be able to learn, communicate, and comprehend online. A specific focus under this theory and research is the new literacies of online research and comprehension. A lot of researchers study the new literacy skills regarding the teacher and students' disposition and strategies, students' participation, integration of internet and ICT, and the differences in terms of online and offline reading. But studies about the assessment practices of the new literacy skills of online research and comprehension appear to be scant. And this should be one of the central aspects of new literacies research because classroom assessments inform instructional methods according to Kim and Davidson. Undoubtedly, Kingsley, Cassidy, and Tangak in 2015 asserted that researches about the teaching and assessment practices in applying skills on the internet are needed. Another impetus of this study is the PISA 2019 results. Overall, the ranking among 79 partner countries of OECD showed that the Philippines is at the bottom rank for reading performance and second lowest for mathematical and science performance. It is also worth noting that recent work suggests that previously developed assessments of the reading skills needed to comprehend printed texts do not sufficiently capture the complex and unique comprehension processes required to read the information on the internet. And it is worth reiterating that Kebrici and his colleagues revealed that some students may think that online learning will be easier compared to traditional learning. At present, the universities in the Philippines have started to conduct classes with complete online integration because of the new social practices that have been instructed. If we continue to disregard the gap between the students and the new literacies of online research and comprehension, a misalignment of reading achievement between the rich and the poor may continue to exist. To achieve optimal learning in this new setting, students need to learn about the new and required literacy skills to be effective online readers and online researchers. Furthermore, the issues presented are the impetus of this study. If we lack studies regarding online research and comprehension, we will also remain uninformed of pedagogical practices that are integrated with new literacies. Having that stated, this research aimed to answer the following questions. First, what are the new literacy skills of online research and comprehension evident among college students? What are the new literacy strategies of online research and comprehension evident among college students? And what are the assessment practices that incorporate the new literacies of online research and comprehension of college students. Now, the integrated theory of online education established by Anderson guided the researcher in this study. The theory was chosen as the research problem revolves around the online learning environment and online pedagogical practices. So the framework needs to revolve around an online learning theory also. The theory is integrated because it combines the lenses of the established theories in education: learner centered, knowledge centered, assessment centered, and community centered. The framework is sufficient for looking into the online learning environment since it is the knowledge or the content that is the major component, which directly parallels the study's objectives. This framework was used also by some of the researchers who explored learning in an online context. From search and retrieval, tutorial simulations and games, as well as virtual labs and ebooks, the researcher modified it into information from the internet to accurately fit the study's context. One of the explorations under the lower theory of the new literacies is online research and comprehension. These are the elements of the new literacies of online research and comprehension. As defined by Lu and his colleagues, the new literacies of online research and comprehension include several new practices, which are identifying important problems, locating information, critically evaluating information, synthesizing information, and communicating information. Qualitative action research was the design of the study. The researcher was involved in a series of planning a change, act, observe, observing the processes, and reflecting. Online action research was the best methodology for this study because the researcher aimed to conduct an in depth examination of the new literacies in online research and comprehension in a purely synchronous learning environment. The research instruments are Think Aloud, retrospective interview, reflexive journal, open ended checklist, and evaluation instrument. In the interest of time, I will be presenting the interesting findings from this study. To answer the first and second research questions, a coding procedure was done to the data gathered from Think Aloud and retrospective interviews. An analysis using Brown and Clark's definition and steps of thematic analysis was utilized. An interesting finding is that majority of the new literacy skills were elicited from the higher performing students, followed by the average performing and lower performing students. Accordingly, the findings reveal that the students were able to elicit new literacy skills under each process of online research and comprehension. At the same time, the majority of the skills are found under the process of communicating answers, followed by the process of identifying important problems, then critically evaluating information process, and lastly, locating the information process. Findings also show that there were distinct new literacy skills that only students from average and higher performing groups were able to elicit. It appears that these new literacy skills were relevant as to why the students from average and high performing groups were able to get high or even perfect scores. Meanwhile, findings also reveal that students from high performing groups were able to elicit the new literacy skills that belong under the higher order thinking skills. It is said that the new literacy skills are automatically applied. So we could see how the higher performing students could elicit more automatic actions compared to lower performing students and average performing students. As indicated, these findings are similar to the study of Dwyer and Kingsley and Tankak, where the new literacy skills that are incorporated in online research and comprehension are under the higher order processing skills. This clearly implies that in teaching and learning new literacy skills, both teachers and students should be engaged in full efforts. Participants frequently elicit the new literacy strategies of using Canva, utilizing the templates on Canva, using MS Word, searching keywords on Google for additional information, using of online sites to organize references, and using blogs. And findings reveal that majority of the new literacy strategies elicited from the participants belong under the process of communicating information. And furthermore, this suggests that the students are knowledgeable on the applications and websites they could use to present their answers to the questions or tasks given to them. So, this gives a clear indication that students do not just read and answer questions on the assessments, they are also required to put effort into creating and submitting an output by integrating technologies. This is in line with the study of Cho, as they found that students are not only required to read, they are also required to perform the new literacy strategies, to research and comprehend. These findings create a teaching implication where the teachers should start integrating technology and ICT in their online learning environment and assessments, and start seeing the new literacy strategies as a central aspect of teaching and learning instead of looking at it as a mere tool and teaching new literacies for the sake of awareness. Another interesting finding is that the students were able to elicit new literacy strategies distinct from each other. These include formatting of style, Paint 3D, searching pictures on Pinterest, snipping tool, online dictionary, Google Drive, OneDrive, using live guides for references, searching and reviewing the CIB, and using of Google Scholar. Now, these are the new literacy strategies: rereading the article prescribed by the teacher, annotations on the reading material, using Google Notes, using Chrome extensions, utilization of split screens or split screen. Conversely, the current finding does not support the previous research by Koiro in 2014, where it was revealed that students are found to be more technologically savvy outside of school, but not for academic purposes of the technology. And the current findings in this study revealed that the participants were able to utilize and elicit different technologies and ICTs in order to finish their tasks and assessments very well. So, a possible explanation for this is that the nature of the assessments in the study of Koiro did not require the students to think deeply, and there were no mini activities integrated into the tasks. So, Koiro also conducted another study in which the students were provided several activities like mystery photos, inquiry baskets, making of digital products, and it was found that the students were able to elicit new literacy skills and strategies while conducting the activities. It seems likely that the assessment practices play a crucial part in learning new literacies, as was also revealed by Karchmer, Klein, and Shinas in 2012. The use of blogs, news articles, and journal sites to find additional information was also revealed in this study as the new literacy strategies that students elicit. Interestingly, one student's new literacy strategy is to find additional information on brainly.ph. It is an online forum where anyone could write their own opinion about a certain issue. And one of the important processes under the online research and comprehension is to locate information, which is a crucial step in order to critically evaluate the information present online. Another unanticipated finding that emerged is that students from higher performing group were the ones able to elicit the greatest number of distinct new literacy strategies. The multimodality of online research and comprehension could allow the student to either keep up with its nature or lose their motivation in exerting effort. Moreover, it seems like the students from higher performing groups were able to perform and keep up well. A similar study by Oz and Memies found that multiple and multimodal representations in learning have an effect on the students' critical thinking skills. So this could suggest that students who use or exert various new literacy strategies allow them to be more critical in solving tasks or problems online. And contrary to expectations, findings reveal that a single assessment cannot incorporate all of the new literacy skills and strategies. And as stated by Lou and his colleagues, there is no individual that can keep up with the rapidly changing nature of the new literacies. So the most important learning students could acquire is to become lifelong learners so they would be able to adapt to the rapidly changing nature of technology and literacy. And this result matches the study of Dwyer, Su, Wang, and Runko in 2012, that where teachers are found to be having a hard time integrating the new literacies in learning. Thus, this suggests that as teachers, aside from focusing on integrating the new literacies of online research and comprehension, it is important to teach our students to become lifelong learners. The redefined assessment practices were evidently shown to parallel the framework of Anderson in 2011, and as was evaluated by um, the experts. And Anderson declared that effective online learning is learner centered, knowledge centered, assessment centered, and community centered. So, in order to incorporate the theoretical concept, the researcher added hyperlinks into the redefined assessments, as it was proven that hyperlinks correspond well to how the human brain works. Based on the indicated findings, the following conclusions were drawn. First, the new literacy skills and strategies of online research and comprehension are considered paramount in the 21st century. Moreover, the results provide a basis that new literacy skills are important to teach to students at an early age, and as it would take time and effort to master them. And second, this study provides information that there are new literacy skills and strategies that should be taught explicitly and implicitly, as there are skills that students are not aware that they have acquired. Some students were not knowledgeable of the valid and reliable sources. Some are even hesitant to search anything online. Hence, this confirms that teachers have to constantly remind their students about locating information as an important part of the online research and comprehension process. Third, aside from teaching and incorporating the new literacies of online research and comprehension, the technology and the ICT, it is also important to teach our students and help them develop their sense of agency. And fourth, students will always be subjected to a lot of distractions online, and this could become a turning point for the students to become complacent and to plagiarize. So teachers and students should become more conscious of the process of online research and comprehension to avoid unnecessary actions. And fifth one, it is important to trust our students and give them several options when conducting online research and comprehension activity. And lastly, more importantly, the researcher concludes that the new literacy skills and strategies could not be integrated all at once in a single assessment. So incorporating new literacies both in Teaching and assessments is a process that teachers and students should not ignore. That's all. Thank you po for listening.